This some Prevo shit, huh? Lyrically immortal beast, redesign artistically. Ha, L-I-B-R-A. I just wanna get fly with you, so fly, so fly. Really just tryna get high with you, so high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just tryna get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. Footsteps on the big clouds, and we here now, ain't coming down. Cause I hear the sound of the light of flick sparking big clips. Took a big rip with a thick bitch, and she fine too. About 5'2", throwing something smooth, we can vibe too. Match my energy and you can slide through. I like different flavors, let me try you. I just need a taste of what you're really giving. Don't fight the temptation, baby, release and give in. Long as you stay loyal, we both gonna end up winning. And there was no question, I know you was down to ride by my side. Unique as a rose, for the ashes I rose. Straight from the gutter, I grew up with nose. When I made it out, I couldn't believe it. Look at the beauty outside of the streets. Mama just texted me, told me she proud of me. Your son doing better, my demon just danced with me. I'll never end up another Yumla casualty. Value the life and energy surrounding me. But still, I just wanna get fly with you, so fly, so fly. Really just tryna get high with you, so high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just tryna get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. We can be like Eric and Donna from the 70s show. Maybe Monica and Chandler, keep it on the low. Ross and Rachel, fucker, we let everybody know. Millhouse and Lisa type shit, give us time to grow. Like the seeds that were planted right under the snow, give them 6 months. Ordinary's the glow from the sunshine. Greatness takes time. One conversation, it should be mine. Trying to have an answer, me not take from me, cause I'm whole already. But I'm also kind of damaged, I got hoes already. Still a fly young king, so the hoes already. Melody, sound wavy in the flow, with steady newbie swag with a little bit of mom spaghetti. Gummies are kind of lyrical, no, it's not a subliminal. With the pissy elevators and smoking my swimming pools. And I made it out. Yeah, I struggle from time to time, but I'm happy now. Obstacles coming in, I see them, but I ain't backing down. Old homies that hated on me still coming back around, but I'm cool with it, cause we fly like paper, get high like planes. Sitting here laughing at all y'all lanes. I'm a beast unleashed, I can't be tamed, but you won't ever forget my name. L-I-B-R-A. I just wanna get fly with you, so fly, so fly. Really just tryna get high with you, so high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just tryna get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, planet Earth, and parts some might call unknown, it is time for the House Divided Podcast, Season 8, Episode 7. I had a brain stoppage for a minute and forgot the entire intro. We are here. We are live. Hi.
Hi, welcome to the NHL preview show.
Bye. We didn't have notes for that.
Oh, good, me either. Oh man, oh shit, we don't have to do the NHL preview.
Yeah, because we
Fuck.
rarely talk about the NHL on this show.
Damn it.
We don't really have much today because the Lions were on a bye, and I don't care about the Bengals. Zach Taylor has broken me. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, I don't really have a bad take of the week, to be honest. Most of everybody that that I saw that said something stupid wasn't really worth it.
That's fair. As a Blue Jackets fan, there is no NHL. Yeah.
What?
Fair.
So I think the bad take of the week has to be that tattoo guy.
Oh.
Oh,
no, you were there for that.
Oh no. Oh.
The
Oh yeah.
guy. Yeah.
No, but yes.
I mean, that's a pretty bad take of the week. That's pretty bad.
That's bad.
Only the only tattoo I'd allow my wife to have is right above where I put my ding dong. That was bold. A dude had to be smashed.
Yeah, that was bad. That was
incredible.
Is that are we calling that incredible?
Incredibly bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was just a trip. Like, there's what, like 2-3 people that don't work at the golf course there?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And almost all of them are in the same spot.
I think it was just Bud at the time.
And Bud.
No,
just
Easton
got
was
off.
there. Easton was there. But yeah, still.
Yeah. And so just about everybody that is there, outside of the people inside, are all like right here. And this guy comes up and he was screaming that as well. Like we're no more than like 5 feet away, and the man is screaming.
Yeah. I was able to hear him 40 feet away.
Bro, you know what I'm talking about, bro? Bro, come on. Know what I'm talking about? Oh, something I didn't tell you over there. He did have an MSU hoodie on.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
He
did.
He did. So that explains some things.
It does. Anyway, that's all I got.
I have a bad take, and it has to do with the man that's on your screen below me.
Well, yeah, he's on my stream now. I kind of forgot to switch scenes.
One, Emmanuel Acho said this, and this honestly isn't the worst thing. Is oh no, what is happening over at your house?
Oh no, you're talking, she's talking. My brain's broken.
Brain's always broke.
I mean, that's neither here nor there.
You work at Rivers Edge Golf Club. Your brain is broke. That is part of the requirement to work there.
Explain Jerry. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Emmanuel Acho said this. This isn't even the worst thing. It's just the most illogical thing I saw this week after sports. Great bye week for Texas football. 6 weeks into the season, and Bama, OU, Georgia, Missouri, LSU, Ole Miss, and then he snuck Texas A&M in there too. All have losses.
Yes, they do.
And that's true. That's not the bad take.
Okay.
They said Texas wasn't ready for the SEC. Yawn.
I mean, when they announced that they were going to the SEC, no, they weren't.
But yeah, that's the thing. When Texas announced 2 years ago that they were going to the SEC, they were still bad.
Yeah, and I mean, now they've got one of the most talented rosters in all of college football, and we're seeing the results of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And important to note, Texas has only played one SEC game, and it's against the worst team in the SEC right now in Mississippi State.
There is that.
Them and Auburn are the two worst teams in the SEC, and this is the week we're taking a victory lap. They
didn't lose the bye week.
If that's our standard right now is we didn't lose to bye week, and we needed a explosive fourth quarter, 14-point fourth quarter to put Mississippi State away. Because they were in a dogfight with Mississippi State till about 3 minutes left of that game. If that's what we're taking is a victory lap on, then sure. It's just a weird thing to take a victory lap on.
I mean, it works for Fox. What do you expect?
That is true. Where we
Gotta fill air.
That is true. Let's move on to Das News.
Das News.
I gotta pull up the news notes. We're not gonna spend a lot of time on this one because I'm gonna talk about it later. I'll let you guys decipher that. The NFL toured Abu Dhabi this past week in hopes of finding a venue for another NFL International Series game.
I mean, I don't even care that it's Abu Dhabi necessarily. I'm not a fan of the International Series games at all. So there's that. I'll just get that out of the way. I just don't like it. Like, as a fan of a team that plays in the United States 99% of the time, because the Lions have had one international. We had a London game.
Well, the Bengals have only had one, too.
I don't really care to wake up at 9 a.m, wake up earlier than 9 a.m. to watch my team play. I just don't care for them. I really don't. It's the same thing when you go into wrestling shows where, you know, the Saudi Arabia shows, those pay-per-views, those start at noon. That just, it just sucks. I don't like it. But my dislike of it is entirely a selfish reason. Like, I'm sure there's international fans that just love it, and you know, fans all over the place are just clamoring for the NFL to come to their country or whatever. I'm just not a big fan of them from the very get-go. So,
like I said, I'm gonna talk about this more. I'm not a fan. Goodell and the league office want there to be 16 International Series games in the coming years. 16 and
that's way too many.
16, not just 16 and like 8 next year, and then 8 in 2026. They want 16 in a season. They want to find a way to fit 16 in a season when how many weeks is the NFL?
17.
Yeah.
So we'd have an international game every single week.
Well, no, technically there are 18 weeks in a season. But
all right. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
My mind's in like 2019.
No, you are right though. There is teams only play 17 games.
They wouldn't do it week 1 and they wouldn't do it week 18. You'd have one every single other week.
They might even do one week 1 now, since they did one in Brazil week 1.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's year fucking 12 or whatever of doing these international games, maybe even more. They aren't growing the game.
It's hard to grow what is already incredibly grown. Now, are there American football teams in other countries that are of any sort of note? No, there's not really a lot of people playing the game. Has the fandom expanded? Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if
you could argue it was there already. So, no.
Yeah, the people that are going to the International Series games were already fans in the first place.
Just move the Jaguars to London and stop it.
Yep. They're there enough as is. Moving on.
That doesn't fix my problem. Those games are still going to happen at 9 a.m, but no.
I mean,
I'm just over it. I don't care. Unless the Lions are in there, I have no interest in watching them whatsoever. So
most of the time they're bad games.
Well, yeah, because they send the Jags there twice a year.
Yeah. Yeah, NFL Europa, when they tried that, there's an idea. I mean, bring it back. Moving on, though.
Just make another league.
Yeah. Moving on. This is just the most Jets thing ever. The Jets, New York Jets, fire Robert Saleh. Saleh is 20 and 36 since 2021 with 6 quarterbacks.
Yes.
After a 2-3 start to the season. The news doesn't end there, unfortunately. And you and I were talking about this a little bit at work. If this were any of the 31 other teams in the league, this news would not be believable. But since it's the Jets, it is. Jets owner Woody Johnson had to come out and say the decision was his and his alone, with Aaron Rodgers having no bearing on the decision. Aaron Rodgers just reiterated the same point today, maybe? I don't know.
Today.
Okay, today on the Pat McAfee show. However, this timing is extremely strange considering Aaron Rodgers and Woody Johnson had a meeting on Monday. Just pure coincidence, I guess. The day before Saleh got fired. And to make things continuingly even bigger shitstorm, Robert Saleh was reportedly escorted out of the facility by the head of security and was not even allowed to inform the team of his firing.
Now, see, that's the one that's like the biggest note to me outside of just that team's problems go way deeper than Robert Saleh.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers is
God, yeah.
without a doubt showing his age this season.
Yep.
So you've got you put all your eggs into that basket. You still haven't resolved the Hassan Reddick situation. Now that he's likely gonna get traded at this point, he wants nothing to do with this team. And so then you pair that with the aging Aaron Rodgers, and I mean a tough schedule in a way to start the year. Now some of the losses have come where you wouldn't expect.
Denver.
But I mean, they lose to the 49ers. They beat the Titans. You should beat the Titans. You should beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots. The Broncos loss was one of the worst NFL games of all time. And the Vikings are just on a tear right now.
Yes,
and I
they
can't
are.
really explain why. So, I mean, you lost the tough game to Minnesota there, and you lost the tough game to the preseason favorite to win the NFC and the 49ers.
Yeah.
So you throw one bad loss in there to the Jets. I mean, what did you expect?
Yeah.
This isn't really that horrendous of a start. Hot Vikings team.
Yeah, they've had
Weird game against the Jets and the 49ers. Those are your losses.
weird game against the the Broncos and the 49ers. Like,
it's just bizarre. So I don't like the fact that Bob Saleh is fired, but what do you do? He's gonna land on his feet, I do believe. He'll get another opportunity. He may have to go be a coordinator for a year or something. Even I would be willing to say that he probably won't. He'll probably be the head coach of somewhere next year.
most likely.
What did I tell you earlier? Where the thing about him being escorted out by security is so unbelievable until you remember that it's the Jets, and then it's totally believable because this is what they are. They're a dysfunctional organization, and they have been for a long time. And so
Ever since
the fact that we can't completely rule out the fact that the part about him being escorted out, or the part where Aaron Rodgers is the one who essentially got him fired.
Yeah. It's
supposed to show you what the Jets are.
There are two other things. One I didn't put in the news. One just got brought up by Ash in your chat. Robert Saleh drugged this Jets team behind Zach Wilson and others.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Zach Wilson won games for this team last year.
To a 7-10 record.
Because of him, but he was there for it.
Yeah. To a 7-10 record last year. The other goofy.
They put all their eggs into the Aaron Rodgers basket, and it is failing.
The other really goofy thing, reportedly, Robert Saleh was about to fire Nathaniel Hackett.
Which is a fair point.
Which is fair.
Because after Denver, he really should have never been in the NFL again, even though Denver wasn't entirely his fault. I mean, you see Sean Payton's done so much better than Nathaniel Hackett over in Denver, but at the same time, he's not a good coach. He's not a good coordinator.
No,
he's not really a good anything. So no notes on that. Bob Saleh keeps his job. That happens. That's fine. That's expected.
Yeah.
And then, however, didn't Nathaniel Hackett coach Aaron Rodgers? Wasn't he a Green Bay coordinator?
Yes, I believe so. Let's
So,
look real quick.
Rodgers catches wind of that, says, no, he's my guy.
Yeah, he
And
was
they go
a
with Bob instead.
Packers coordinator before he went to the Broncos. So yeah,
That's why he landed the job in New York anyway.
yeah, oh yeah. So like you just get like just a whole goofy situation here.
I don't know.
Just what the fuck?
I feel bad for Bob Saleh.
Yeah,
that team has problems way deeper rooted than him.
They had problems before him. They're gonna have problems this year. I don't know who is gonna be their interim head coach, but you always have the saying, bet on the interim head coach at least in the first week. I would not.
I do indeed like the interim head coach game. Jeff Ulbrich is the interim head coach.
Nope. No clue.
Defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. I mean, the defense is the best part about that team. Moving on. This is just something's wrong with this program. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Another Georgia player has been arrested. This time, wide receiver Colby Young. This time it wasn't... Dog, stop. This time it was not for a traffic violation.
Or a DUI.
Or a DUI. Assault and battery on a woman and unborn child.
Yeah!
This is the...
That's... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. This now marks the 7th Georgia player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arrested since January.
I don't know. I feel like we have done this time and time again with this Georgia program. So you're right in the way that there's something wrong with that whole program in a way where they just character doesn't really mean anything for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Nope.
They will take whoever and whatever they want as long as they're talented at football. That's all that matters. That's all that matters here in Georgia. So I don't know. Sick of talking about it. So Georgia players, if you're listening, you're not, but if you are, stop getting arrested.
At what point, this is all, I got one final thing on this. At what point do we just, does somebody, NCAA, SEC, Georgia themselves step in and Kirby Smart, who has no control over this program, like something has to be done. And that's a rhetorical question, by the way. Like,
hey, at least it's a different offense this time. Because if this was yet another
oh my god,
traffic incident or just anything involving a vehicle, it'd just be like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, it's somehow worse. Somehow.
Oh yeah, it is way worse. But yeah, no, you are right. Something needs to be done. Someone has to step in. Like, Jim Harbaugh got in trouble for cheeseburgers, for recruiting violations involving fucking cheeseburgers during COVID.
No, it was the lying about the cheeseburgers.
Whatever. Same thing. Because he didn't have oversight or control. Kirby Smart obviously has no oversight or control. Moving on. The MLB, some happy news. Kind of. The MLB has acquired rights to produce local games for Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Minnesota amid the Valley Sports / Diamond Sports company going into bankruptcy. That shit show that's going on there. However, the Rays, your Detroit Tigers, the Los Angeles Angels, which I don't know if they actually have real fans, The Cincinnati Reds, the Miami Marlins, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Kansas City Royals are still stuck in limbo as Bally and Diamond have yet to sell the production rights to those games. Production and broadcasting rights to those games. Supposedly, Diamond is submitting a reorganization plan that does include selling the rights to those, the broadcasting rights to those teams, or well, every team, except for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. Poor Braves.
Poor Braves.
I really feel bad. Still stuck with Bally.
Meeting will be held with the bankruptcy judge on the November 14th or 15th, or November 14th and 15th, to decide if that plan will move forward. Like I said, at least I can say this, like, so your team's still stuck in limbo, because for whatever reason, even though Bally says, or Diamond, the company that owns Bally, says, yes, we're going to sell these rights, sell the broadcasting and production rights, they don't want to sell them yet for whatever reason.
Of course not. It was a big acquisition for them when they made it. And even though they went bankrupt shortly after, they've been in bankruptcy protection for a long time.
Yeah.
Pretty much since that happened. Like, that news came out the year that whole transition, that whole merger,
happened,
if you will, was made between Bally and the old Fox Sports networks. The acquisition, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
It's been going on a long time. So I was glad that you put in here the date in which they're going to meet with the bankruptcy judge, because if you're in bankruptcy protection for this long, it usually doesn't mean anything good's happening to you.
Correct.
I mean, we're not exactly a show that looks at anything other than sports, but, you know, look at Red Lobster, man. They got in and out of bankruptcy protection real quick.
Yep.
Bally's been in it for probably 2 years.
At least. Yeah, like, obviously as a Cleveland fan, it's good to see that this is going somewhere, and we do know where, at least I know where my team's gonna be games are gonna be broadcasted. They just need Diamond Sports, Bally just needs to sell all the rights to the MLB. The MLB needs to come in and just buy everything other than the Braves, because apparently for whatever reason, I don't know where Bally and Diamond are based. The fact that they're wanting to hold on to solely the Braves is weird.
So my assumption would have been Vegas. I don't know if that's the case.
Diamond Sports Group.
I'm not really finding an answer. Oh well. I mean, yeah, it's I'm hoping that the Detroit Tigers and Red Wings and Pistons will go literally anywhere else. Now, I say that as if Bally isn't essentially the same as the old Fox Sports networks, with a much worse score bug that they try and make work for every single sport when it just doesn't. The talent more or less is the same, at least for the Detroit aspect of things, outside of the no-brainer acquisition to acquire Jason Benetti to do Tigers games. More or less, it's all the same people. It's all kind of the same format, but my biggest gripe is still with the score bug and the streaming service that Bally provides being, I mean, it's not useless during hockey and basketball season, because for somebody that doesn't have cable, it's pretty much the only way that I can watch them.
Yeah.
Outside of doing it illegally or going to Fubo, which I don't want to do.
Well, this gets, I know where, Bally/Diamond is headquartered, and it makes the Braves stuff even weirder. Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, that's pretty bizarre.
Like, what the? Yeah,
I got nothing.
No, it's good to see that teams are they're getting released from Bally. Like Bally Great Lakes only covered one team in the state of Ohio. That was the Cleveland Guardians. You couldn't even find. They didn't even put Cavs games on Bally.
I see. That's weird.
Yeah, illogical. They would put some Blue Jackets games on Bally, but yeah, whole thing's weird. Glad Bally's going away.
I hope so.
Yeah, moving on. Final piece of news. The NCAA voted, I believe yesterday, officially, to shorten the transfer window down from 45 days, both for the winter and spring, from 45 days to 30 days. Also on the vote was to remove the spring window altogether. However, that was split 50-50. So that will remain for at least one more year. Those changes are coming effective this upcoming transfer window in December.
Okay. I don't really know what this is going to affect necessarily.
Yeah.
Really not much. So
The spring window a bit more. But yeah, the big part of the news was again that the spring window, which everyone seems to be, or seemingly was against, is still there.
it's still there.
Yep. Anything else?
Nada.
I say yeah, you don't have much on this. We will talk about transfer portal here with Panic Meter. Starting, we got Panic Meter today. Do I have the right graphic up? I do. Good. We are going to start with Ohio State because they played the early game on Saturday. You had to wait around all day for Michigan to play. I only had to wait around half the day. Ohio State, we're going to start off with the score. It was 1 to 10, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
It's going to stay at a 2. Offensively, Iowa did not really pose a threat. Their lone touchdown came while Iowa still had all of their starters in. And Ohio State was on their second and third string defensive players. Iowa running back Caleb Johnson, who has been one of the best in the country so far this season, who was running his mouth all of last week saying, and he is an Ohio kid, saying, I wouldn't have went there even if they wanted me. Well, he looked like ass until he had a 30-yard run to give Iowa 7 points with 3 minutes left in the game. So yeah, Iowa offensively, no threat. They had 1 or 2 drives where they looked like they might score, and then just Iowa'd themselves. Kirk Ferentz Iowa'd himself. They had a 4th and 1 on Ohio State's 45 that they lined up and they ran a fake punt. They pulled a Dan Campbell. Except Kirk Ferentz chickened out and called a timeout with 10 seconds on the play clock. So that ended that threat. And then they had one more where they were threatening, and then they missed the field goal. Defensively, Iowa came out and played good. That was the best defense Ohio State's played this year. Played good in the first half. Couple just bad turnovers. But it might be the best defense they see all year. And then the second half, they cleaned it up for the most part, other than just a weird Jeremiah Smith fumble. He hasn't made... Really, that's the only mistake he's made all year. And then a just dumb Will Howard interception, mostly mistake-free from Ohio State, so can't really say anything. It's a 2. Oregon, with how they go with Oregon, that number could go up.
Will it go down, though?
After Oregon, possibly.
Yeah, I would say. So still a 2 for Ohio State, which moves us on to my Michigan Wolverines.
I'll let you talk, because I know you and I talked about this a little bit Monday. I have some questions for you on this team.
Oh, boy.
But I'll let you go first.
So, in terms of the panic that I have with them, it doesn't really go up. I feel like coming out of this game, you have a little bit more answers. We know who, at least I do believe, to be the best and most talented quarterback on the team, and that is Jack Tuttle at 25 years old. I would certainly hope so.
Yeah.
That being said, Jack Tuttle mistakes are really what took us out of this game in the second half in what ended up being a 27-17 loss. A fumble and an interception in the second half. But the move to Tuttle was a great move. You were at least able for a couple drives to move the football. When with Alex Orji, that just was not happening in this game. Alex Orji finished 3 of 7 for 15 yards, which is just flat out abysmal. Davis Warren. Some people think that Davis Warren is the choice for quarterback because he doesn't turn the ball over. He turns the ball over though.
He turns the ball over a lot. If your logic is not turning the ball over, go back to Arkansas.
Interceptions against Arkansas State.
Yeah, he had 3 incomplete passes against Arkansas State, and all 3 of them were interceptions.
So yeah, that was incredible.
Fuck.
So Jack Tuttle is, I think, the most talented quarterback and is going to give us the best chance of success. I really hope that Sharon Moore goes with him going forward. This is the best Donovan Edwards has looked in a long time. Actually had a fairly solid game, just about 100 yards, scored a touchdown, and for the first time all season looked to be the better running back than Khalil Mullings, even though we know that's probably not the case. But carries between Edwards and Mullings were split evenly, and Edwards did more with his, which is just something we don't really see all that often. But
like you said,
Donovan Edwards' efforts were not enough. Do you want me to give my score now, or do you want to go into the? So it's not going to change a lot. In terms of the outlooks of the season, if you want to have any chance of playoffs, which is dwindling very, very quickly, you have to win out. I think you've already lost to Texas. If you lose to anyone else along the way, there's a couple ranked teams on our schedule remaining in that aren't Oregon or Ohio State, in Indiana and Illinois. Can't slip up against any of those. Can't slip up against anyone. And then you have to beat Oregon and you have to beat Ohio State, which right now doesn't look like it's going to be a possibility. So it goes up a little bit. I say 7.1 for this week after 6.9 a week ago.
Okay, fair. So I want to ask you this. Do you think, and we all know Jim Harbaugh was the big transfer portal proponent guy. And big,
yeah, he's one of the very early pushers for it. Yeah,
and big NIL guy. Obviously, we know how Ward Manuel and others at the University of Michigan feel about both of those things.
Yep.
Do you think, with the way, two-part question: A, do you think that Sharon Moore's reluctance to go to the portal is hurting them?
I don't really know if it's reluctance on Sharon's part. I think it's more so
from the program as a whole.
Yeah, from the Michigan program, and not even just the program, just the university.
Yeah,
like it goes all the way up to the top of the athletic department. It goes all the way up to the Board of Regents, really, where and the president, the president these days in Santa Ono, I think, is a big proponent of it. But right now, it's just not a thing that he can get pushed through.
Yeah, he's fighting an uphill battle, just like Harbaugh was.
Which is unfortunate. Yeah. And so I don't think it's reluctance on Sharon. It is reluctance on the university itself, because we got to keep that acceptance rate at 27% or something like that.
Do you think that is part of their struggle? Because, like, really, I mean, especially on the defensive side, I don't even know what to say. I'm like, that defensive side should be good, but they've
looked fine at points this season. I don't think they've really played a good game or really up to their talent yet.
Yeah.
This is the first game where you can say that they really didn't have a good game. Uncharacteristic mistake late from Will Johnson. There was another flag on that play too, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, the defense just wasn't able to do enough, which is really the first time in a few years that you can say that about Michigan.
I mean, some of it, and now this is where the transfer portal stuff, because of the quarterback situation. Like, if the offense was better, and we've seen it all season with this Michigan team, as they get into the second half and they start to kind of cave in on themselves, because the defense is out there so fucking much. Do you think that just the university's reluctance on the portal is hurting them, and do they need to modernize if they want to keep up?
No, yeah, you have to.
Okay.
You look at the top teams in college football right now, and they all have, I'd say, at least $10 million invested in their roster in NIL. And that's not something that we have, and you're going to fall behind. And if you want to keep that proud Michigan tradition of football, you want to keep that up in today's day and age in college football, you got to get with the times. There's not really any avoiding that. I'm hoping that now that they're seeing this team just trying to do it for more or less, I mean, the old school way. And I mean, there are NIL deals at Michigan, don't get me wrong, but they're fairly small ones. So it really isn't that much of a factor. I mean, just imagine if, say Dave Portnoy's offer of $3 million to a quarterback to come to Michigan happens a year ago. Is Cam Rising turning that down? Is he staying at Utah?
I think it'd be hard to turn down.
It's for a college athlete, because at the end of the day, that's still what they are, despite how college football is these days. It's pretty tough for somebody in college to turn down $3 million. That's not hard for anybody to turn down.
Yeah.
So you gotta get with the times for sure on this, and I'm really hoping they do. Otherwise, gonna be a long time before Michigan has success again.
Real quick before we move on to the Bengals, because like I said, the Lions had a bye week. I guess we'll answer this question from Dark Sarge. Interesting question, college football question for the panel. I'm an Army fan. There's a chance we make the 12-team playoff this year and have an Army-Navy American Athletic Conference title game. Curious if fans of college football would want to see Army or Navy in the playoff. I know our schedule has been terrible, but if we go undefeated with the committee, take Army over an undefeated Army team over an 11-1 Boise State team. That's actually a good question. I talked about this yesterday when I was making picks. It would be very close.
So I would. The only question I feel like I can answer is, would I like to see Army or Navy in the playoff? Yeah, absolutely.
Same. As a college football fan, I say yes. I would love to see them in the playoff.
There's a reason that the Army-Navy game is entertaining as it is, not just because of everything that goes into that rivalry, but it's because there are very few offenses in the country that operate the way that they do. So you throw that little wrinkle in there, and again, especially against a school that doesn't really play Army, Navy, or anyone else on a regular basis, like, okay, maybe you've seen them like 10 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun little wrinkle. So absolutely. I'd love to see them in there. Would I also love to see Boise State? Yeah.
Yeah, because Ashton Johnson is just so good.
He's insane.
Here's where
I don't really care about this. I don't really care about the schedule when it comes to either one of them right now.
No, because both teams, like, I mean, yeah, or Boise State does have one notch right now, and it's that they did play Oregon close. But the Mountain West, top to bottom, is worse than the American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, there's really not another good team in the Mountain West outside of Boise.
Like, UNLV's playing decent this year, but this could be a one-off for UNLV.
For them,
and,
even right now.
And they could be done after they just got that first loss to Syracuse. They could kind of just start to tank. I think it would be difficult, though, to say. I think a lot of people would like to see Army or Navy in, though, like you said.
Yep, I'm on board.
So
I'm
am
on board. Army Navy ACC or AAC title game. Just Army Navy playing each other in general is just always a good bit of fun. You add in the possibility of a playoff spot on the line in Army Navy. Oh God, that's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
So keep it up, both schools.
Yeah,
I want to see it happen.
We're going to take a very short intermission. My dog is doing something that is dangerous.
Okay.
I'll be back momentarily. Dog was trying to climb out a window.
I'm sorry, what?
The dog was trying to climb out of the house.
Nice.
Let's move on to NFL Panic Meter. We only have one team here today.
Yep, Lions on a bye. My score stays the same. We got a really good football team, so.
Yep. My score, maybe, it has to go up. I don't want to talk about this game too much. You want my feelings on it? You can go watch Weekend Jorts. It's up on Spotify now. You can go read any of my tweets from the past weekend once you get past the baseball related tweets. The Bengals waste a phenomenal performance from Joe Burrow, threw for 392 and 5 scores. Lamar Chase had himself a day at almost 200 receiving yards. This Bengals offense is one of the best offenses in the NFL. And the Bengals defense, I mean, the people who supposedly were the problem, if you listen to a lot of Bengals fans saying, oh, Sam Hubbard's the problem. Sam Hubbard had himself a game other than just one play where Lamar Jackson made this all-world play and fought off Sam Hubbard and was able to throw a miracle pass into the end zone. And Christ, Sam Hubbard tackled Derrick Henry in the end zone for a safety. Might be the only dude in the entire NFL that could say he did that. He's done that. For fuck's sake. Bengals defense kept Derrick Henry in check the entire game until, the final real play of the game when he broke for almost a 50-yard run. It's almost 60-yard run, actually, I believe, if I remember correctly.
51 yards.
51? Okay. Yeah, and he was only at 40 yards before that. So he ended with 91.
92.
92. Oh, okay. So he had 41 yards before that. Just fucking Zach Taylor again happened. This team had 3, and we know the defense isn't good this year. Daxton Hill, who is not a good safety, even though he was, or not even a good defensive back, even though he was rated, he is, by in terms of Pro Football Focus grading, is the highest graded defensive back on the team at like a fucking 28 or 30, which is bad. He got hurt early and looks like he tore his ACL. He's out. It's this team. Like every year, Zach Taylor has done this thing where we don't play the starters a lot in the preseason or give them a lot of reps in training camp, and they get hurt. Zach Taylor does it. Oh, hey, we're not going to give our starters a lot of time because we don't want them to get hurt in the preseason. Then you get to week 4 in the regular, week 5 in the regular season, and what do you know? All the starters.
In that sense, I mean, then the Lions do the same thing. I mean, we don't really play our starters at all in the preseason under Dan Campbell. And I mean, now we're out Ragnow, we're out. And it's just, Derek Barnes isn't a key piece, but I mean, there is something to be said just in general of there is value to preseason games. It's conditioning.
Yeah, and it's just so frustrating to see that. And
you don't have to play them a whole game. Play them some.
Yeah, just get them some reps and get them some reps in training camp and in preseason. And then the big one, we go to overtime because again, and this is. You got people still defending Zach Taylor when this is the 3rd year in a row it's happened. They get into a tight game. Zach Taylor starts coaching scared. So we go to overtime. Ravens win the coin toss. As a Bengals fan, you're sitting here thinking, oh, fuck, overtime rules are broken anyway in regular season. Ravens are going to go down, score a touchdown. We ain't even going to get a chance to touch the ball. Son of a bitch. Lamar Jackson makes a very uncharacteristic mistake and fumbles a snap. Jermaine Pratt picks it up, takes it to the Ravens 38. Bengals fan, you're sitting here, holy shit, we got a chance. And Zach Taylor does it again. Handoff. 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 All to set up for the chip shot field goal. Except for the chip shot field goal was 55 yards.
It is kind of funny that the man that wouldn't really use Joe Mixon decided to go run.
With Chase Brown, no less.
Yeah.
Not even Zach Moss. And okay, yeah, you have a bad hold. Our rookie punter, Ryan Recco, who undrafted rookie, not even signed by the Bengals. He was signed by the Chiefs and then cut by the Chiefs, and then the Bengals had to sign him because Brad Robbins got hurt. Recco, who's been a really good punter this year, just had a bad hold on him. Wasn't a great snap, and the Bengals end up losing. The worst part about this is press conferences and everything afterwards. You got Joe Burrow. I have to play a better game. The dude only had 9 incomplete passes, threw for 392 and 5 scores. He had one interception, which, depending on who you ask, Jamar Chase blames the interception on him because he said he ran a shitty route. So you got right there 2 of your star players taking blame. You got Evan McPherson, you're one of the best kickers in the NFL, arguably. Even with the bad snap, I gotta take the blame. You got the rookie punter, Ryan Recco. Oh, I gotta make sure that hold gets down. Even if it wasn't a great snap, I gotta make sure that hold gets down. You got the long snapper taking blame. You got so many people. You got the defense taking blame. And you get Zach Taylor there. Oh, it's not my fault we lost. I didn't call 3 runs. I only called 2 runs. Joe Burrow audibled out of the first down run. He still called inside run on 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 9, Zach. Taking no accountability, which from a head coach is just scary. And all 3 plays, they came out in a single wide receiver set. So there were no threat to pass whatsoever. Even so, the play that Joe Burrow probably audibled out of, or Joe Burrow supposedly audibled out of, according to Zach Taylor, because Joe Burrow didn't want to talk about play selection during any of his press conferences this week. When he was asked if he audibled out of a pass play on that final drive, he said no comment. He's not going to talk about play selection because he doesn't want to throw anybody under the bus. So he probably audibled out of an RPO or a screen, and it's just, I'm gonna give this Bengals team a 7.5 because I don't care anymore. This team has me broken. I can't. You and I talked about it earlier. Oh, we can't give them a 10 because a 10 is the highest. What if somehow they do get worse? What if they lose to the fucking Giants this week?
Giants playing good ball.
I can't. So as someone who I just don't fucking care anymore. This team's bad. I won't care until
team has taken your soul.
I can't even say the team's bad. The defense is bad, but we got the number 2 offense in the fucking NFL. Zach Taylor doesn't know how to manage it. That's it. Let's move on to game of the week and picks. Game of the week.
Oh, no, okay. This is new.
How do we want to do this? Because since we decided to put game of the week and picks all together.
What is the game of the week in the picks?
Yes, because it is a Big Ten game.
Let's get there when we get there.
Okay.
So we don't talk about the same game twice.
That is fair. I didn't know. We didn't really discuss how we were going to do that.
Oh God, I just looked at the ticket price for this game. We'll surely bring that up. We start the college football picks with saying, "How the fuck am I over 500?"
Yeah, college picks. Jordan's 47 and 43. I'm 43 and 47. Jordan's over 500. I am not.
19 picks in my last 30 games have been correct. That's incredible for this show. That never happens. Friday, 8 o'clock on Fox. We start off with the picks. Northwestern, who kind of sort of battled last week, takes on Maryland in a little bit of a Big Ten shitfest. Terrapins, minus 9.5.
If you have $2.98 and you're in College Park, Maryland, I would save your $2.98. But what does $2.98 get you anymore? So I guess go to the game, because you can't even get a gallon of gas with $2.98.
You can hardly get a bottle of water from a gas station for less than that. Go to the game.
Yeah,
Go. I'm on Maryland.
I'm on Maryland too. What is this price?
That's incredibly low. In the Saturday slate, noon on BTN.
Be Maryland.
3-2 Wisconsin plus 2.5 heading to the birthplace to take on Rutgers.
Give me stupid Rutgers. Coming off a tough loss to Nebraska. This Wisconsin team's not good. The spread's not high enough. Give me Rutgers. Common guy's gonna run for over a hundo.
Yeah, I don't trust Wisconsin at all. I don't know if I trust Rutgers a lot after last week, but I do believe Rutgers is more talented. And I've been on Team Stupid Rutgers in terms of trying to get Rutgers good again, if they ever really were good. But
is
I'm
Rutgers
on the Scarlet
back?
Knights. Is Rutgers back? Maybe. At least back to being Rutgers and not Stupid Rutgers.
There.
Noon on Fox, the 4-2 Washington Huskies plus 3.5 traveling to Kinnick to take on Iowa.
Oh, this is a weird game. Washington could get Kinnicked, even though they aren't the favorite. I just spent 3 hours of my life watching Iowa football on Saturday.
Yes, you did.
It was the fastest Ohio State game possibly ever played in the program's history. At least in modern history. Iowa's offense is so bad. If there's one thing Washington's defense can do, it's stop the run. Iowa can't throw the ball at all.
Which is, I would say, it's all Iowa has.
So give me Washington here.
I'm on the Huskies. They're going to be riding high after beating Michigan. I mean, hell, there were T-shirts made.
Were there really?
I'm not kidding.
Jesus.
Yes, there were. I'm taking the Huskies. Made the Michigan defense look very average last week. So
yeah. Side note: Iowa's points per game total and ranking is starting to fall back to normal. Yes. After the dud against Ohio State, offensive dud against Ohio State, where they had 7 points, has dropped them down to 84th in offensive points per game. So they are going after that big dud, against duds against two teams that have life. They're finally coming back down.
Hey, Iowa's back. Iowa's back, baby.
I heart punting.
Yes. Saturday, 3:30 ABC, number 1 Texas at 5-0, minus 13.5, taking on number 18 Oklahoma.
What's the number?
Minus 14.5 for Texas.
Oh, okay, thank you. I thought I heard you say 13.5. I was like, well, I'm confused because I have a different number.
Nope.
This spread could be 21.5. I'd still take Texas.
The only thing Oklahoma might have going for it is its defense, which isn't really great by any means.
No.
But the offense, in terms of pretty much every ranking other than points scored, is one of the worst in the country. Like, Michigan's not in the picks this week, so I can't check it. They might be worse than Michigan's. I'm not entirely certain.
And we don't have Liberty, Florida, Illinois, and our picks, I called that game last night. And everything except for points per game, every offensive category except points per game, Oklahoma is worse than Florida International. Like I said, I know this just because I called Florida International Liberty last night, FIU Liberty last night. And FIU's not a good offensive team.
No.
And yeah, this Oklahoma offense is just dead in the water. Their defense, which is their strong suit, isn't phenomenal. Which is weird saying for Brent Venables, a phenomenal DC that he was over and defensive recruiter that he was over at Clemson.
I don't know if I said my pick yet, but give me Texas. They're built for it.
Yep, same.
3:30 p.m. on True TV.
Is this a baseball game?
4-1. Now you could have watched American League Divisional Series games 1 and 2, at least for the Tigers, on True TV. I have not, but it has been there supposedly, according to YouTube TV. The 4-1 San Jose State Spartans -2.5 taking on Colorado State.
The fact that this game has higher ticket prices than
Maryland Northwestern.
This game's gonna be bad.
It has higher ticket prices in Penn State USC. Yeah. Buttons have been hit. I don't know anything about either of these two teams, so give me San Jose State.
I called a Colorado State game earlier this year. Give me San Jose State. Colorado State's not good.
You called Colorado State games back-to-back years.
Yeah.
3:30 on FS1. 1-4 Purdue plus 19.5, taking on a number 23 ranked Illinois team.
Will the Purdue travel? That's the question. Will Purdue win a game the rest of this year? They're bad.
I mean, they continue to get worse, Purdue does. I really think they do. Now,
who is their one win?
That's the perfect recipe for a Purdue, though.
That is true.
When you don't suspect them at all, and they just come in and wreck your season.
When was their win? Indiana State week 1.
Oh, right. I think I watched part of that game.
That was Purdue's only win. No, I don't know about Illinois, but this could be a Purdue candidate because the Purdue does travel. I'll let you finish because I'm going to regret my pick, I think.
I'm on Illinois.
Yeah, I am too. I might regret it again because Purdue could travel, but
I don't know. This doesn't seem like a Purdue team that's going to Purdue. I just don't get it. As much as it is shaping up to be that way, oh my God. Got blown up by Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad.
They're bad.
Saturday, 3:30, CBS, number 4, Penn State, 5-0, -5.5 as they travel to the Coliseum to take on the USC Trojans.
Oh, funny enough, we talked about game of the week. This, not Ohio State, Oregon, not Ole Miss, LSU, is my game of the week. USC, we know, is not great. They just lost to fucking Wisconsin, for Christ's sake.
Minnesota.
No, not Wisconsin, Minnesota. They had a dogfight with Wisconsin, I mean. They just lost to Minnesota. But this Penn State team has been very uninspiring. They do get the number 4 ranking in the AP. This game out in LA could be really interesting at 3:30. I think it could be a stumbling point for Penn State because, again, they struggled with UCLA this past week for 3 quarters.
Who might be the worst team in the Big Ten,
other than Purdue. One of the two worst teams in the Big Ten.
We're 1 game removed, and I already forgot about Purdue.
Yep. Yeah. Penn State just hasn't been convincing, so this is my game of the week. However, I say that as Penn State has not been convincing. You haven't brought the people into one yet today.
What?
You have not brought the people percentages into a pick yet today into play.
Oh, yes. Okay, all right, the people. 72% on Penn State.
Some people say I'm a man of the people. In this case, they're right. Give me Penn State. They have to prove, one way or another, they either have to prove that they're at least pretending to be real, or they're going to get proven that they're frauds. They're going to pretend that they're real this week and cover.
Give me USC. I am not ever really a believer in Penn State under James Franklin.
Yep.
This would be the type of game that they lose. Not just don't cover, they lose this game. USC is talented. Lincoln Riley holds that team back. Lincoln Riley makes fewer mistakes than James Franklin, and USC wins.
Yeah, we get to have a battle of two inept coaches. And
yeah, pretty much.
And two mostly inept quarterbacks, but coaches are
too
bad.
Wow. Miller Moss and Drew Aller might be the same guy. I'm not entirely certain. We're going to have to find that out.
Never seen them in the room together.
That's true. 4:15 on the SEC network. 1-4 Mississippi State, who you just called the worst team in the SEC. Maybe because they are. Take on the now 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia minus 33.5. Big spread for this time of the season.
Cool. There might only be one team worse than Mississippi State in the SEC, and it could be Auburn. The team Georgia just played, and I've said teams have been in a dogfight a few times here of late in these picks. Georgia was in a rock fight with Auburn, with Peyton Thorne-led Auburn. They won off of a 10-point fourth quarter to get up, pull away 31-13. They just did not look convincing. So 33.5 is a shit ton of points for a team that might not be able to score that many points.
Yep.
Give me Mississippi State. They're going to throw one touchdown in there just to be able to cover this.
All right, we're on the same page. Georgia in big spreads once you get to SEC play. I don't really know the numbers, but it just always feels like that's not really all that safe. Georgia's offense isn't that insane. They'll score some garbage time points or something and cover. 33.5 is a lot. And the people agree on that too. Only 52% are on Georgia.
Yeah, Mississippi State was late touchdown.
7:30 ABC, number 9, Ole Miss. 5-1, minus 3.5. Heading to Death Valley to take on number 13th ranked LSU.
This could have been my game of the week if it wasn't for the fact that I called an LSU game week 1 of the season. LSU's just not great. I'm not high on Brian Kelly. Yes, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss had a weird slip-up against Kentucky. Just goofball slip-up. Ole Miss is better than this team. I don't understand how 52% of CBS pickers are on LSU.
Yep, I don't get it either.
Give me Ole Miss.
Give me Lane Kiffin and the Rebels. I'm an Ole Miss fan. I don't really know why, but I am.
I've been high on that team this year.
I want to see them succeed, and they got some talent. We head into what is my game of the week, and I don't really understand how it isn't yours. We got a number 2 versus number 3 matchup in Ohio State at Oregon. Do you remember a time that the Buckeyes traveled to Autzen?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Ohio State minus 3.5 on the road.
This was not my game of the week just because of the compelling storylines of Penn State USC. I think it is extremely likely that these two teams will see each other either in the college football, or either in the Big Ten championship or some point in the college football playoff.
That's entirely possible.
I think Ohio State's just.
It's not both.
It could be both. Maybe.
If these teams go undefeated throughout the regular season, one of them loses the Big Ten championship game, and that loss is the only loss between the two teams, they both make it, no problem.
Yeah. If they each lose to each other at one point, yeah, they're both in.
They don't even both have to lose to each other. Just the one loss well, I mean, yeah, somebody's gonna have to lose the Big Ten championship game. So yes, technically. But even if Oregon, say, loses to Ohio State twice,
oh yeah,
do
they're
you still put Oregon in?
Yeah,
I think so.
Unless they get blown out both times.
Well, still.
I'm on Ohio State here. I think they're just the better team right now. Oregon's had some just absolute shit bomb games.
They have. I don't know. Both teams are very, very talented. Ohio State has what is the closest thing to an NFL roster that I think that you could see in college football. Right now.
I have a guy who should be playing on Sundays right now on that team. And he's only 18.
You could argue a couple. JTT is another one that I'd put over there too. I may regret this. I think this game is going to be very, very close. I think both teams are going to absolutely battle. So I am going to take Oregon and the points. I don't really know who's going to win this game. I have no fucking idea. But I'm going to take the points on this one.
I mean, that's fair. I think, and no, I don't think Ohio State's going to blow Oregon out.
Oh God, no.
I think Ohio State's going to win by 6.
Okay.
Like, no, I don't think. I think they maybe win by a touchdown at most. Like,
all right. I got hooked. 3.5. Really close matchup, at least on paper.
Yeah, that is a weird number.
Oregon.
That is a weird number.
7:45 SEC Network. Vanderbilt, coming off their upset win over number 1 Alabama, takes on Kentucky, and the Commodores are plus 13.5.
I want to pick Vandy. I really want to pick Vandy. I really do.
But you can't.
I just can't. Like, I could see this. If they were at home, I would pick Vandy. I could see this just being a letdown game, though, for the Commodores. So give me Kentucky. A team that I don't really want to pick, but I feel like is just the better option.
I'm riding high on Vanderbilt. I'm probably going to be wrong. Because let's be honest, Vanderbilt is not all that talented, but they played a hell of a game against Alabama. They're probably going to come out with a shit ton of energy after that still. I'm not sure the party has stopped in Nashville since. So, give me Vanderbilt. I might regret it. We move on, 8 p.m. on ACC Network. Your Syracuse Orange, led by Honda McCord, are 4-1 and minus 4.5, taking on NC State.
This is an easy one for me to pick. I just called Syracuse on Friday night, only 5 days ago. Yeah, they had some goof-ups. UNLV blocked 2 punts. They were in a dogfight with a UNLV team that's really scrappy. However, NC State is not scrappy at all. They're pretty bad. I don't know what Vegas sees for this to only be 4.5.
We get burned by this.
Yeah. But give me Syracuse.
I'm on the Orange. Really, really impressive offensive numbers right now for Syracuse, despite whatever the fuck happened last week. So give me Syracuse. 9 p.m. Big Ten Network. 3-3 Minnesota, coming off the upset against USC that knocked them out of the top 25. Take on the possible worst team in the Big Ten, UCLA. Minus 5.5. I don't know if I said that for Minnesota.
This number could be bigger. I'd still take Minnesota. Like, you're not even giving me a full touchdown. Like,
no.
UCLA is so bad. Yes, they just...
Yeah.
They provided resistance against Penn State. We don't know if they're real. Penn State's real. But give me Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm on Minnesota. I think either way, they're scrappy. They're really, really good, and this is a game they're actually favored in, which is generally where we get let down with this team. But give me the Golden Gophers. I think they're actually pretty good, and I like PJ Fleck. 10:15 on ESPN. Number 18, K-State -4.5, taking on Coach Prime and the Buffaloes of Colorado.
This is a very intriguing matchup in the Big 12.
Big 12 after dark.
Big 12 after dark. Bordering on an elimination game for K-State in a game that could propel Colorado into the Big 12 championship conversation. I think K-State's just the more complete team. Travis Hunter is one of the two best players in the country. Somewhere along the way, Colorado will find a way to goof up. But give me K-State here.
I cannot believe I'm doing this. I am taking Colorado, which is not something I've done very much. This is a new feeling for me. Big game atmosphere. You know Colorado fans are going to want this one bad. That stadium's going to be rocking. I'm sure we'll have all kinds of celebrity appearances at this game. I don't like it, but I'm on Colorado. And we move on to the final game of the college picks, 11 p.m. on the CBS Sports Network. Good old-fashioned Mountain West after dark. Let's go. Number 17, Boise State at 4-1, -21.5, traveling to the island.
Oh, man. I wish I would have been able to guarantee myself a day off this upcoming weekend. So I could have called a game on the island instead of calling Liberty FIU last night.
Probably would have been smart.
Yeah, even though now I know I have a day off. I'm taking Sunday off regardless. So I'm going to watch this game. Because Ohio State should be done right around that same time. Give me Boise State. Ashton Jeanty is just so fun to watch. He is so good.
There are 100 carries on the year, and he has surpassed 1,000 yards.
He is so good.
You can give the argument to me that it's the schedule and who Boise plays. I don't fucking care. Those numbers are incredible no matter who you play.
He's so good.
If it was all schedule based, then why don't more backs do it?
Yeah.
Don't care. Give me Boise. Let's move on to the NFL picks, even though I am not too thrilled about being here, because I stink.
I'm 41-37. Jordan's 32-46. I have to pull the picks up real quick, so give me 1 second.
Oh, Christ.
I have the pick.
How the hell am I over 500 in the college picks at this point in the year, and yet I'm doing what I'm doing in the NFL?
Cool.
Oh.
You were.
I mean, the NFL has been really weird. It feels like half of the slate each week is just like, what the fuck results? I blame the Denver Broncos. I really do.
I don't even know what to say what's going on in the NFL. Like, it's just absolute
football chaos, you could call it.
Yeah, football chaos.
Into the NFL picks, Thursday night football. We're actually live on a Wednesday for once, so this game hasn't happened yet, and for the first time in 2 weeks, I have a pick for it.
Yep.
Let's go. 49ers taking on Seattle. The 49ers have looked really, really weird, but they are still the favorite here, -3.5, traveling to the 12th man.
My pick. Like this, I don't even know what to do about this game. I'm on San Francisco because Seattle just sucked fuck against the Giants.
You just lose to the Giants.
Give me San Fran. I hate this game.
I I just have to believe that San Francisco plays like they are capable of playing at some point again.
They have to,
So,
right?
even they've lost some weird games to divisional opponents. They really need this game. They've already lost to the Cardinals and the Rams, so they need to get going if they want to get to the playoffs and even win the division. I mean, that's believe it or not, I guess in question right now. But give me the 49ers. We have a London game, at least I think so. 9:30 in the morning on NFL Network. The 1-4 Jags plus 2.5 taking on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, this is in London. Sorry. In London. Yawning's about how I feel about this game. Jags stink. The Bears aren't great, but they stink less, so give me the Bears.
Bears defense against this Jags offense. Give me Chicago. Into the full Sunday slate, 1 o'clock CBS. The Washington Commanders, possibly one of the most intriguing teams in the NFL right now, are plus 6.5 taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore just gave up a shit ton of yards to the Bengals.
Yes, they did.
Their defense did not look convincing. Washington's really good, at least on offense. This game could be phenomenal. I don't know. I cannot say if Washington's going to win. They're going to cover, though.
I'm on Washington to cover as well. I really like this team a lot. They're really, really fun, and I'm still, of course, awaiting the Devontae Adams to Washington news. I think that would throw the NFL as a whole for an entire year. So I'm trying to manifest it. 1 o'clock on Fox, the Arizona Cardinals plus 4.5 taking on the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau.
Give me the Packers here. The Cardinals are just too inconsistent.
Cardinals are wildly inconsistent, to say the least. But I'm going to pick them because they didn't shit the bed last week. They did. They beat the 49ers. But the 49ers also shit the bed too. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with this team. I'm just going to ride Arizona and try and pray for the downfall of the Green Bay Packers.
That's fair.
1 o'clock CBS, the Houston Texans are 4-1. They are minus 6.5, traveling to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots with Drake May as their new starting quarterback.
Yep, Drake May has officially been the starter over Jacoby Brissett because I guess Jerod Mayo's trying to look for a spark. That poor kid might die.
Yeah.
That offensive line is bad. Will Anderson might commit an accidental murder.
Now, see what I don't get is why name him the starter now? What changed in 6 weeks?
Yeah,
like you're 1-4. You're not winning anything. If you're trying to protect him until you have a better team around you, then none of that makes sense. It's just like you should have just been starting games the whole time. But it's just not the way it works in the NFL. Give me Houston.
Yeah, I'm on Houston too. If I didn't make that known.
Yep. New England is even down one of their better defenders in Jabril Peppers. So, not because of an injury. We'll just say that.
We didn't talk about that because I don't even know what the fuck's going on with that.
Nobody really knows. But anyway, 1 o'clock on Fox, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have fallen off a cliff the last couple of weeks, take on the New Orleans Saints, fresh off a fucking loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Buccaneers, however, are a 2.5-point road favorite.
This is my NFL game of the week because this game could be really fun. In
a bad NFC South, or at least, early on, it's wide open.
And wide open NFC South game of a Buccaneers team that's a little inconsistent, but really fun to watch, and a Saints team that, well, they might be less fun to watch because Spencer Rattler is going to be the starter.
Yeah.
But you never know what you're going to get because there are still weapons on that Saints team. Alvin Kamara's fighting off Father Time. They still got Chris Olave, who Spencer Rattler said he's really excited to throw to. Rattler did throw some of his past receivers under the bus by saying Olave is the best best wide receiver he's ever thrown to.
I'll tell you what, though, when it comes to the Saints team, Rashid Shaheed has really turned himself into a nice receiver.
Yes, he's turned himself into more than a return man.
Yeah, guy was just returning kicks and had some highlights doing that. He has really upped his game and is a big weapon for the Saints right now.
So this team, like, even with and let's call a spade. Derek Carr was not an elite quarterback.
No, but he's not Spencer Rattler.
No, he's not Spencer Rattler. But with the weapons that this offense does have, the Saints team could still be competitive. So I think this game will be really fun. That being said, give me Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers because they have more weapons.
I don't think I've ever picked Spencer Rattler in a game ever, even maybe in college. That doesn't start now. Give me the Bucs.
Fair.
1 o'clock on Fox, Browns plus 8.5, taking on the Eagles, fresh off a bye.
This is a weird number for NFL.
It's an unfortunate number, yes.
The Browns fucking suck.
Browns are cheeks.
Like, Stefanski doesn't want to move off Watson, or maybe the owners don't want to move off Deshaun Watson, even though he's cheeks. Maybe because he's worried about getting his cheeks massaged. I don't fucking know.
Wow.
Give me the Eagles.
Wow. There's a joke there, but I will not tell it. Give me the Eagles, and we move on.
Yep.
Cheeks. Final game in the 1 o'clock slate. The Indianapolis Colts minus 1.5. Is Anthony Richardson starting? I don't really think. No.
I think he might be dead.
It might be Joe Flacco taking on Will Levis and the Titans. And Joe Flacco is favored minus 1.5 on the road.
This game's gonna be ass. I don't know who the Colts are gonna put at running back because Jonathan Taylor's questionable with his ankle injury. Trey Sermon's questionable with a fucking collarbone injury. It doesn't matter because the Titans fucking blow. Give me the Colts.
They're really bad. Give me the Colts. I'm just excited to see the new Will Levis meme this week because even though we didn't think we were gonna get one when he didn't start or when he was out of the game, we got one.
We did get one.
Into the 4 o'clock slate, 4:05 CBS. The Chargers off a bye, minus 3.5, taking on a Broncos team that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Give me the Chargers. The Broncos stink.
Broncos stink. Oh God. And watch them lose. Watch the Chargers lose.
Oh, fuck.
Don't let Bo Nix get hot. I guess threw for 2 touchdowns last week. But I'm on LA. 4:05 CBS. Steelers minus 2.5 after a what the fuck kind of loss last week at like 1 a.m. to the Dallas Cowboys. They take on the Las Vegas Raiders, who are starting Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, free Max Crosby. Free Devontae Adams.
Hey, as a Lions fan, I will personally offer a 3rd-round pick right now for Max Crosby. Las Vegas, what do you say?
As a Bengals fan, I'll offer a 2nd-round pick and a jar of peanut butter.
A second and a bat mug from Comerica Park. Anyway, I'm on the Steelers. The Raiders are a complete mess, and I do not believe in Aiden O'Connell whatsoever.
I'm a little upset that I got outdealed there. I'm also on the Steelers because the Raiders are awful.
Raiders suck. 4:25 on Fox. The I almost said Arizona Falcons. Atlanta Falcons minus 6.5 taking on a miserable team in the Carolina Panthers.
Kirk Cousins threw for 500 last week.
Yes, he did.
He might not. Actually, he could probably throw for more than 500 this week because the Panthers are miserable. Give me Atlanta. Yeah, I don't even.
I'm on it. Yeah, it don't matter. I don't think I've picked the Panthers since. I think I picked them week 1. I don't think I picked them since. Probably totally wrong on that. But give me the Falcons. 4:25 on Fox. No doubt America's game of the week. Lions minus 3.5 taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World for the first time since the infamous Dan Skipper, Taylor Decker didn't report as eligible thing.
If you have $37.61 and you're in the Arlington, Dallas, wherever the fuck, around where Jerry World is, go to this game, because it'll actually probably be decent. Or you at least get to see one good team in the Detroit Lions. Give me the Lions here. The Cowboys just have no identity. They're not very good. They just aren't.
I am doing something that I have very rarely done in the last few years, and that is pick against the Lions. It's just, we go to Dallas so much. We play Dallas so much, and it is always a close game. I could see this being a 3-point game and me getting the cover. I do expect the Lions to win. Dallas just doesn't know what the fuck they are. So, Detroit to win, Dallas to cover, because I'm going to have to sweat this to the very end.
I need two things from the Detroit Lions and the NFL. Y'all need to stop scheduling the Seahawks at home, and y'all need to stop going to Dallas. This is...
I don't think it's up to us.
3 years... Yeah, the NFL needs to stop, too. This is 3 years in a row you guys have gone to Dallas. You 0-2. Just like 3 years in a row you've played the Saints... Or not the Saints, the Seahawks, and you've lost the first two. For my sanity, they need to win this game.
And then, I mean, we play Arizona at Arizona all the time. The NFL scheduling makes no sense.
Yeah, the NFL scheduling needs to, like, change. Give me a Cincinnati-Detroit game again.
Yeah, it's been a few years. Speaking of Cincinnati, Sunday Night Football, the 1-4 Bengals -3.5 taking on a Giants team that's kind of hot, a little bit.
This is a must-win game for the Bengals. I mean, you start
yes.
You start 1-4. You got 12 games left. 10 out of your next... Is it 12? Yes. 10 out of your next 12 are must-win games. Yeah, that's right.
Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals. That's all I was getting at.
All right, and then Monday Night Football, we wrap it up. The Buffalo Bills -2.5 taking on the New York Jets in the interim head coach game.
Yeah. Like we said at the top of the show with the news, interim head coach ain't gonna matter in this situation. Bills are good, Jets are ass. They have so many more problems than Robert Saleh. Give me Buffalo.
I do love myself an interim head coach game. Not this time. Give me the Bills. It'll happen later in the year, and I will take an interim head coach, but it's not happening this time. And those are your NCAA and NFL picks for the week, and we move on to Champ and Chump.
Hopefully we're not ass. My champ.
I mean, me and the NFL, I don't know if there's any saving that.
My champ is a softball for Champ of the Week. And I am going with the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Okay, well, we're on the same page with that. I mean, Vandy was what, 1-60?
No,
they're now 1-60.
They're now 1-60 against top 5 teams.
Unreal.
And they go out and they play the game of all of those guys, games of their career. Phenomenal. Vanderbilt's head coach, I don't know his name. I didn't know his name for when I did my recap show yesterday. I just never looked it up, but he outcoached Kalen DeBoer. Oh.
Clark Lee.
Clark Lee outcoached, thank you, by the way, outcoached Kalen DeBoer on every single level. Vanderbilt played a perfect game, and just a masterclass on how to beat a team like Alabama when you're a team like Vanderbilt.
I mean, all that needs to be said. I mean, they haven't played yearly in quite some time, but
no.
They still do play each other quite frequently, despite some big gaps, at least in recent years. They hadn't beaten Alabama, let alone the #1 team in the country, since 1984.
Yeah, and right there also, they've never beaten the number 1 team in the country, obviously.
No.
Like I said, the
They
Owen,
haven't beaten Bama since 1984.
and that's just absurd. Like, yeah, they're not Chump of the Week, Champ of the Week.
Yeah, they're unreal. Love it for them. Love to see the smaller schools just get beaten around, come out on top every once in a while. And the fact that it was Bama at number 1, hot off a win against Georgia, makes it even better.
Yep, ain't that the truth? Your Chump of the Week.
To be honest, I don't really have one. I mean, I guess it could be the Houston Astros. It could be the ESPN broadcast crew.
That's fair.
That was during that one.
Bob
They
Costas.
were terrible. Bob Costas is another good one. He is he must have been told to tone the bias down, because the Yankees went up 1-0 early. I don't know what the score of that game is now. I believe it's probably still going on. But Bob Costas had to keep it in his pants when the Yankees did something good.
The Yankees
did win that game. Yeah, I saw that 3-2.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Bob Costas showed a little restraint today after being visibly upset that the Royals turned a double play in game 2.
So I have
In a very short sense, we'll just call it what it is. Bob Costas, my Chump of the Week.
fair enough. I have an honorable mention real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. Taylor Lewan and Will Compton, they had Connor Stallions on their podcast, Bussin' with the Boys,
Oh God.
yesterday or whatever day. They're an honorable mention, and again, as someone who believes nothing is going to come of the Connor Stallion stuff, stop giving this guy airtime. That's it. Like, stop.
I mean, I did hear the clips. Now, I don't know why he's saying what he's saying. Because he doesn't come out looking good in really any of it. Despite what he's saying might have some truth to it. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not going to be an investigation into every team in the NCAA as to whether or not, as he says, everybody in the Big Ten outside of 2 teams had a Connor Stallions. We're not going to get that investigation.
no.
We never will.
Like, we just need to stop giving this dude airtime. We see he's head coach.
I would say let him go coach high school football in Detroit.
He's coaching football down in Mumford and Detroit area. Mumford High School in Detroit area. They're 0-5, 0-6. They're one of the worst teams in the fucking state of Michigan. They're giving up just as many points as Alpena is. I think Mumford.
I suspect that if Mumford played Alpena,
Oh yeah, they would
it would
win.
not go very well for us.
Mumford would win, but like that's why I'm just saying Mumford is one of the worst teams in the state, not the worst.
Yeah.
So just let him go do his own thing. He's proving that he's not a good head coach. It doesn't. Cheating stuff doesn't matter. He's proven that he's not a great coach. Stop giving this dude airtime. That's my honorable mention. I don't want to talk any more about it. My actual Chump of the Week is Roger Goodell and the NFL League office. We started off the show or the news with it with the fact that they were touring Abu Dhabi to find another location for a international series game. Stop with the international series. No one outside of the international fans that already like the game of American football and like the NFL. Like, they're not really growing the game because you're not getting Bill Bob Englishmen and Joe Schmo in London who have no interest in American football. They're not going to NFL games. The only people that are going to NFL games in Europe or Brazil or Australia, because they're talking about wanting to put one in Melbourne. The only people that would go to them are already NFL fans. You're not growing the game. And majority of the American fans don't like it. So that right there. And then The league office gets thrown into. Zach Charbonnet got fined $45,000 in the after the Lions game for an illegal, unnecessary roughness block on just a generic block. Apparently, he got enough of his helmet into somebody, and then we get to this week. The league office and the officiating was in rare form because they're cracking down on certain celebrations that look like guns. We had a Colts player get flagged 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct for doing finger gun as a first down sign.
Everybody in the NFL does.
Everybody, yeah, you see it. Patrick Mahomes did it on Monday night. He didn't get flagged. Jamar Chase did it in the Ravens game. He did not get flagged, but he got fined today. Everybody does it. Every player does the woo finger gun first down. Why are we throwing flags on this? What are we doing? And if you're going to throw it on flag one person, flag everybody. I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, anybody. Flag everybody and fine everybody. The league office, NFL is my chump of the week.
Okay.
That's it. It's stupid. Like, come on, NFL. What are we doing?
Well, that is the show, and for what is a rare time, it will be under 4 hours, or not 4 hours, 2 hours.
2.
And we could have hit that hour and a half goal if not for your dog trying to escape a window.
Jump out the front window.
It was possible.
Broke the fucking screen out of the window. Stuck half.
Goal was in our sights.
Stuck half-ass out the window.
Ouch.
It was weird.
Pain. Well, I guess Ash is gonna report us to Twitch now.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Peace. Next week.
I'll report myself as well.
To answer Ash's question, because this is apparently becoming a meme in my channel. No, I do not know the Hawaii or Boise State coaches.
I don't even know who the head coach of Boise State is, to be honest.
These days, I don't know either.
Before this gets any later,
Peace.
that's the show.
That's the show.
I'm not. Oh God, do I do a game of CMU tonight? Do I do that?
Oh God, Godspeed if you do.
I gotta play Georgia. Fuck it, self-hate. I'm playing Georgia.
Godspeed. Peace. That's the show.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.